It's been a busy past few weeks for firefighters in KELOLAND as they tackle numerous wildland fires across the state. And we're not even at the busiest time of year for fires. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, THORSON talks with fire professionals to explain what we can expect for the upcoming fire season.
At the end of March, the Black Hills saw multiple fires flare up, although it's unsure how they started. Weather conditions were just right to spread the flames quickly, like the Schroeder fire.
That Monday, we had a cold front pushing through and exceptionally strong winds both before and after that cold front, and that was definitely the trigger. If we had an ignition, we knew that fire was going to run across the landscape.
Right now is what's called shoulder season, which means it's not peak fire season. However, it's quickly approaching. Darren Clabo is the state fire meteorologist who helps determine fire danger levels. He says these next few months will really determine what kind of summer we can expect.
If we go through the spring carrying drought, we're in a tough situation for the summer months because, for example, April, May, and June in Rapid City, we get about 47% of our annual precipitation in those 3 months. So if we go through those 3 months without banking some moisture, we end up getting into the summer months in an exceptionally dry situation.
Clabo says either way, people need to be taking precautions and be aware that the smallest flame could start a wildfire.
There's all sorts of different ways that we as humans cause wildfires on the landscape. And if we can take that component out of it and just, let lightning do what lightning does, and let's not be part of that problem.
We need everybody's help, right? And the more a person can prep their home for any fire season, whether it's an extreme season, a high season, or a low season, it doesn't really matter. If you live in the wildland-urban interface, being proactive is only going to help yourself, and it's going to help the folks that are going to come in to do their best to be able to protect your property.
Chris Stover is the forest fuel specialist for the National Forest Service. He says this shoulder season is a good example of what we can expect if we aren't careful.
It is certainly a precursor for what this summer's fire behavior could potentially look like.
Stover says that the fuels that catch fire on South Dakota's landscape are currently very dry.
This place wants to burn. It's within its DNA. So if you can realize that and you be proactive, you're going to do an awful lot better, when that event occurs. It isn't if an event is going to occur. It's when an event is going to occur.
New Underwood Fire Department Chief Caleb DUSTMAN says his crew has been busy.
Well, we've seen an early start to what you would consider your typical fire season. We didn't quite get out of fire season, but definitely coming early with the lack of moisture over the winter and the lack of that early spring moisture.
DUSTMAN is also a rancher.
You don't burn that trash. You don't burn those slash piles. It has to wait, and we can't take unnecessary risks this time of year, and preventing. It's cliche, but preventing wildfire starts with you as an individual.
With the possibility of this summer experiencing dangerous fire levels, he asked the public to be cautious for the safety of themselves and the first responders. With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Sydney Thorson.
Cannot be too cautious. To stay updated on the changing fire danger levels, we've included links under this story on KELOLAND.com.